This is Paulk Muscadine. This is a self-fertile purple slash black muscadine that's quite large for self-fertile, and the flavor is actually pretty good. It's no supreme, but if you're gonna have just one muscadine, this is a top of one of the top 10 lists for muscadines. So self-fertile, so you don't need to worry about pollination issues, and it's quite hardy with our temperature here in Northeast Texas. Even the cold weather, it does get damaged. You can see, we'll get to one section there where I think there's damage, but this is a weird year for our weather. It warmed up quite early, and then it kind of got cold a little bit, so there's a little bit of a kind of freeze damage once all the muscadines have leafed out. So I just got done pruning. As you can see, I didn't even get a chance to get all the cuttings right there. However, all the muscadines are awake and they have their pre-blooms right now. So this entire row is Paulk. This is self-fertile, so this is what I'm relying on to pollinate the females right here. This is a female row. Those are Sugargate, Summit, and Janet. And then next to it, it's the a late fry row. So let's take a look. As you can see, the vigor on this vine is actually very good. So that's my let's pull this one right here. So that's my pruning right there. I'm really I prune a lot, so sometimes I just need one node. Let's say this example right here, I left 2 nodes on this one, and then it grew that, and then the other one too. So this one here, this is all new growth since pruning 2 weeks ago. So look how long it is now, and it has pre-blooms. No guaranteed yet you're gonna get fruit from that, but that's pre-blooms. We're gonna get flowers, and then we're gonna eventually get grapes. Okay, so let's kind of take a look at look at the vigor on this one. So this one I left 2 nodes, one right here, 2, and I cut it right here. It started from that spur right there. So this was 2 years ago. This is what's left last year. No, 3 years, 2 years, and then this is last year. So I cut it, so these are the growth for this year. So there should be another one right there, and 2 more. So that's, you know, it's really quite easy. Just when you prune, just leave 2 nodes or 1 node. The less nodes you leave, the less chance of muscadines you're gonna have. But in my experience, 1 or 2 nodes, you get quite plenty. So all right, so another thing also, if you're just starting with muscadine, you will see this crazy growth right here. It's all green growth. This is quite weak, so don't be surprised if you see a lot of these dead, hanging dry, because the wind can knock them off. They easily, I mean, once a grape or muscadine get established, boy, they're like steel, crazy hard. Okay, but at this stage, the heavy winds will knock them down, because they're all gonna go up like this, and then they get weighed down, but they're still too weak with their connection right there. And you see a lot of them kind of, so a lot of beginner grower, they kind of start panicking. They think their muscadine's dying. It's just those few vines, new growth, that kind of got knocked down by wind. All right, so let's keep going. So that's the first vine right there. So here's the next one. This one is a little bit later than that one. See the vigor on that one compared to this, but this one is waking up as well. There's some pre-blooms already right there. So this one here is just bark shedding. You can just leave it. It'll fall on its own. It's like it's just shedding, that's all. You get new bark right there. All right, so this one, plenty of pre-blooms, but not as advanced as that one. These are like 3 inches of growth on this. So this next one here is very similar to that one. However, see this damage here, and this is my fault right here. So when I was pruning, I ripped off, maybe this is 2 years ago, I ripped off a vine that went all the way there, and in the process I ended up ripping it right here and created this damage. So it's still gonna live. I don't know if this is gonna close, but this is something I need to look out for. And then maybe if this one is not too healthy and whatnot, I'm gonna let's say from here, this one, let's say, let this grow all the way and not prune it, and then let it grow all the way here to the T-post and use it as a backup in case this one does deteriorate some more and I lose this section of the vine. You'll see on my future videos, I'll show that on some of my vines that had that issues, where I ripped it off and then I damaged the vine. Usually what they recommend is you got one trunk and then split it in there. I just let them do their thing. It's more like a backup. You get damage all the way here, you still have this to kind of propagate. Really there's no right or wrong, but if you did follow the T kind of sectioning, it looks pretty. Look at that one, single trunk, and it divides right there. So I just like backup, redundancy. So all right, so that's number 3. This is the 4th one. This one is even later. So it kind of look like the one that gets the most sun right there, since there's no hickory nut tree that's blocking it. So far 2, 3, and 4 are looking exactly the same, but they all have pre-blooms. So this is all Paulk, quite productive. All right, and then this is where it gets a little bit different, since I have to shorten this 120-foot row, because I do want space in front of the tree house right there to let the vehicle pass, like the mule or even our regular size car. So it's a little bit shorter than I think it's only 110 instead of 120. So what typically the spacing, it's not really that important. I mean, what they recommend before is you get your single trunk and then 10 feet that way, 10 feet that way, so it's 20 foot. Now they're recommending, instead of 20 foot, it's 18 foot. So you only get 9 foot this way for maximum productivity. That's for commercial. We're talking commercial growing. You do whatever you want as a backyard grower. If you only want it 5 feet and 5 feet the other way, that is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. You want it 20 feet both ways, also nothing wrong with that. So as you can see, this one, instead of planting another one here, I just let this guy go all the way, and I still get a lot of Muscadines from this. All right, see this one? Like and then there's pre-blooms on all this spurs right here for fruiting. All right, so this is the last one. So I do have 5 here instead of this typical 6 vines per row, because of like I said, the spacing that I provided in front of the tree house. All right, so this is growing just like all the previous four before it, or previous three before it. The first one of the Paulk Muscadine is it's like the vigor is just amazing. Okay, but this will all get super crowded in about a month. All this growth would be up to here. I mean, it looks great at that point, and they start drooping on the ground, and you can't mow. So you start trimming the bottom also, so nothing get caught by your mower and starts ripping off your vines. Okay, so this is kind of like an update. So this is like 2 weeks after pruning, 2 to 3 weeks, because I did prune them not at all at the same time, because I don't like pruning. It's just so much work. But there they are. This is Paulk, self-fertile black or purple muscadines. There's another thing you need to watch out for. I did put a zip tie to hold them, but this one it won't outgrow. But probably at the end of the season, this will be kind of tight. So you have, if you do this technique like I do, make sure when you prune, you're ready to cut these so they don't choke the vine. You also want to look for tendrils that would choke your vine, because once these guys dried up, they're like steel. Like you can't sometimes you need to be super strong to really rip them with just your hand strength. You need like pruners. This is like crazy tough, so they would actually choke your vine and kill it. I mean, well, not kill it, but take off the circulation, and then it'll die wherever the end tips of your vine. Okay, so this is Paulk. So what I'll do is I will document, most likely at this stage, because there's a lot of growth. Like every month I'll have like a long form video like this for all the different varieties to show. This is basically for me, so that I know what it looks like, historic kind of growth. I watch these like I watched last year, to just kind of get it in like a base comparison to this year's, so on and so forth. So it's good to document your orchard or your vineyard, so that you can kind of study some patterns.